Welcome to Resource Management. Today we'll learn how to manage resources in SAP BTP. This means organizing your cloud tools, services, and data efficiently. For example, you might allocate memory for an application or assign developer access to a project. Mastering this ensures your projects run smoothly and cost-effectively. Think of it like distributing supplies to different teams in your company. This means allocating specific resources, such as memory or services, to various applications or departments as needed. For instance, giving the sales team's app extra database access during peak hours ensures smooth operations. This careful distribution keeps everything running efficiently and prevents resource shortages. This ensures everyone has what they need to succeed. This means providing each team with the proper tools and access to perform their specific tasks effectively. For example, a developer gets permissions to deploy apps, while an admin controls user access. This organized approach prevents confusion and empowers each role to contribute fully. We'll make this simple and practical. This means we'll focus only on essential concepts you can immediately use. For example, think of creating a project folder in SAP BTP like organizing files on your computer, quick and straightforward. You'll gain confidence to apply these skills directly in your daily work right away. Understanding the SAP BTP Resource Hierarchy Structure. SAP BTP organizes resources in levels. This means your account, environments, sub-accounts, and spaces are structured in a parent-child tree for clear management. For instance, your main company account contains a development sub-account, which holds a project space. This hierarchy ensures organized and secure control over all your cloud assets. Global account, the top level with all available resources. This means it's the highest container in SAP BTP where all your purchased services and quotas reside. For example, your company's main subscription is a global account, holding credits for development and production. It serves as the foundation for organizing all your cloud projects. Sub-accounts, smaller spaces for specific projects or teams. Think of them as dedicated work areas within your main SAP BTP account. For example, your development team can have one sub-account for building a new app, while your analytics team uses another. This keeps each project organized and secure within your overall environment. Resources flow from global account down to sub-accounts. This means your organization's central account distributes services and permissions to smaller, project-specific accounts. For example, a global account for your company provides development tools to a sub-account used by the HR app team. This structure ensures organized and secure access across your projects. Strategic resource management drives efficiency and cost control. Prevents running out of resources for important projects. This means carefully allocating your cloud resources so critical initiatives always have what they need to run. For instance, if marketing launches a major campaign, development won't accidentally consume all available memory. Proper resource management ensures your highest priority work proceeds without interruption. Ensures fair distribution across teams. This means allocating resources so all teams can access what they need without one team using everything. For example, if the development team uses all available memory, the testing team cannot work. This careful management keeps projects on track and prevents delays for any team. Helps control costs by avoiding waste. This means you only use and pay for the computing resources you actually need. For example, shutting down a development server when it's not in use prevents you from being billed for idle capacity. This disciplined approach directly protects your budget from unnecessary expenses. Makes sure new projects can get started quickly. This means having resources ready so teams don't wait for setup. For example, when a team needs a new database for an app, it's instantly available from a pre-approved pool. This immediate access accelerates development timelines significantly. Understanding entitlements in SAP Business Technology Platform. Entitlements are your permissions to use services. Think of them as your access pass to specific SAP BTP capabilities, not the actual resources. For instance, an entitlement to SAP HANA Cloud allows you to provision a database, but doesn't create it automatically. This ensures you only use what you are authorized for. They define what services you can use and how much. This means your subscription specifies which SAP BTP services are available to you and the allocated capacity for each. For instance, your entitlement may permit using the SAP HANA Cloud service with a 30 GB memory limit. Always check your entitlements to know your precise available resources and avoid service interruptions. Like having tickets to different rides at an amusement park. This means your subscription grants access to specific SAP BTP services, just as a ticket lets you use certain rides. For instance, your company might have entitlements for SAP HANA Cloud and SAP Workflow Management. This allocation ensures you can only use what you are officially permitted to. You assign these to subaccounts based on project needs. This means you distribute your available services to different project areas as required. For example, if a team needs SAP HANA Cloud for development, you grant that entitlement to their subaccount. This ensures each project has precisely the resources it needs to succeed. Let's navigate to the SAP BTP cockpit. Open SAP BTP cockpit in your browser. This means launching the central web interface where you manage all your cloud applications and services. For example, a developer uses it to check the status of their newly deployed app. This is your starting point for any administrative task on the platform. Log in with your credentials. This means using your unique username and password to access the SAP BTP cockpit securely. For instance, just like you sign into your email account to check messages, you'll use your company login details here. This step ensures your cloud environment is protected and personalized for you. Click on your global account. This is the top-level container that holds all your BTP resources and projects. For instance, if your company Cloud Innovations has a global account, you'd select it to manage all related development and subscriptions. This action is your starting point for accessing and administering your cloud environment. Look for the Entitlements section in the left menu. This is where you manage your service quotas and assign resources, like your team's budget for cloud tools. For instance, you would go here to allocate memory for a new application. This central area is essential for controlling what you can build and run. Viewing available entitlements in SAP BTP. In the Entitlements section, you'll see all available services. This means you can view every SAP BTP service your company has subscribed to in one place. For example, if your company has access to SAP HANA Cloud, it will be listed there. This overview helps you quickly determine which tools you can use for your projects. Each service shows total available amount. This means your subscription dashboard displays the maximum units you can use for every BTP service. For instance, the SAP HANA Cloud tile might indicate you have 128 GB memory allocated. Always check this before provisioning to avoid exceeding limits. You can see what's currently assigned to subaccounts. This means checking which services and resources your subaccounts are already using. For example, if your team has a subaccount for development, you can verify it has the SAP HANA Cloud service enabled. This helps you manage your resources effectively without guesswork. This gives you the big picture of what you have to work with. In simple terms, it's like checking your pantry before cooking. You see all ingredients available. For example, a developer can confirm they have access to SAP HANA Cloud before starting a project. Knowing your entitlements ensures you plan effectively and avoid surprises. Step 1. Choose which subaccount receives resources. Navigate to the subaccount you want to assign to. This means selecting the specific area in SAP BTP where you wish to allocate services or resources. For example, if you have separate subaccounts for development and production, you would first enter the development one to assign a trial SAP HANA database. This initial step ensures your resources are placed correctly. You can find subaccounts in the left navigation. This means the list of subaccounts is always accessible on the left side of your screen. For instance, when you log in to manage different company departments, just look left to select the correct one. This ensures you always know where to locate and switch between your subaccounts quickly. Click on the specific subaccount name. This means selecting the exact subaccount where you want to assign resources, like memory or services. For example, if you have separate subaccounts for development and production, you would click Development subaccount to allocate resources there. This ensures your resources are assigned to the correct environment. Make sure you are in the right subaccount before proceeding. This means confirming your current workspace to avoid deploying resources in the wrong place. For example, if you manage separate subaccounts for development and production, deploying a new app in the wrong one could cause issues. Always double-check your subaccount to ensure correct resource allocation. Assign services to your subaccount. Click Entitlements in the subaccount menu. This means you are accessing the section where you can allocate specific services to your subaccount. For example, to use SAP HANA Cloud, you'd go here to assign it. This step is essential for enabling the services your applications will use. Click Configure Entitlements button. This lets you add specific SAP BTP services to your account, like choosing tools from a catalog. For example, to build an app, you first assign the SAP HANA Cloud service here. This step is essential to activate the capabilities you need for your project. You'll see a list of available services. This means the platform displays all services you can enable, like a menu of options. For instance, if you need a database, you could select SAP HANA Cloud from this list. This step allows you to choose exactly what your applications require to function properly. Check the boxes for services this subaccount needs. This means selecting which specific SAP BTP capabilities, like databases or AI tools, your project will use. For example, if building an app that analyzes sales data, you'd enable the SAP HANA Cloud service. This step activates the exact tools required for your solution. Step 3. Set the right amount. For each service, set the amount needed. This means you configure the exact resources each service requires, no more, no less. For example, with SAP HANA Cloud, you specify the memory size based on your data volume. This ensures optimal performance while controlling costs effectively. Start with what the project actually requires. This means you should first identify the specific business needs and technical functions your solution must deliver, then select only the necessary BTP services to meet those needs. For example, if your project needs automated workflows, start by enabling the workflow service. This focused approach prevents unnecessary complexity and cost. You can always adjust later if needed. This means your initial resource settings aren't permanent. For example, if you start a development environment with low memory and later need more for testing, you can easily increase it. This flexibility ensures you only use what you require, optimizing both performance and cost. Click Save when you are done. This ensures your configured settings are permanently stored in the system. For instance, after setting your budget limit for a development project, saving locks in that value. Always save to confirm your changes are applied. Monitoring resource usage across your SAP BTP landscape. Regularly check how resources are being used. This means actively reviewing your BTP services to ensure they are not consuming more memory, storage, or processing power than allocated. For instance, monitor your application's database usage to prevent unexpected costs from exceeding its free tier limit. This proactive habit is key to maintaining a healthy and cost-effective cloud environment. Navigate to each subaccount's usage reports. This means opening the detailed analytics for each project area in SAP BTP to see consumption data. For example, check a development subaccount to monitor monthly API call volumes. Regularly reviewing these reports helps you manage costs and resources effectively. Look for patterns: are resources being fully used? This means checking if your services consistently hit their capacity or often sit idle. For example, if your analytics database runs at 100% CPU every Monday morning, it's a pattern of high usage. Identifying these trends helps you optimize costs and performance efficiently. Identify sub-accounts that might need more or less. This means checking which areas of your BTP setup are using too many or too few resources, like memory or processing power. For example, a development sub-account running heavy tests may need more memory allocated. Regularly reviewing this ensures your applications run efficiently and cost-effectively. Identifying common resource patterns in enterprise environments. Some projects use more resources at certain times. This means their computing needs aren't constant but fluctuate. For example, a retail application experiences a massive surge in traffic and data processing during a holiday sale. Therefore, planning for these peaks is essential for smooth operation. New projects might need more resources initially. This means at launch, your app requires extra computing power or storage to handle setup tasks and early user traffic. For example, a new employee onboarding portal needs additional memory during its first payroll cycle. This temporary boost ensures smooth performance when demand is highest. Ongoing projects often have steady usage. This means their resource consumption remains consistent over time, not fluctuating wildly. For example, a production support application needs the same compute power every day to handle regular ticket volumes. This predictable pattern helps in planning and optimizing your BTP resource allocation efficiently. Look for sub-accounts that consistently need adjustments. This means identifying environments where resources like memory or services require frequent manual changes. For example, a development sub-account repeatedly needing memory increases during testing phases indicates poor initial sizing. Recognizing these patterns helps optimize resource allocation proactively. Best practices for resource distribution. Start with what projects actually need, not maximum possible. This means allocating resources based on current project requirements rather than over-provisioning. For instance, assign only the necessary memory and computing power for a development app, not the highest available. This approach prevents waste and ensures efficient resource use from the start. Leave some resources unassigned for new projects. This means not allocating all your cloud capacity upfront, saving a portion for unexpected opportunities. For instance, if your team suddenly needs to launch a new mobile app, reserved resources allow immediate development without delays. Keeping this buffer ensures your organization can swiftly respond to emerging business needs and stay competitive. Review and adjust monthly based on actual usage. This means checking your resource consumption each month and modifying your plans to match, preventing waste or shortages. For example, if your app used less memory than expected, you could downgrade your service plan next month. This proactive habit ensures your resources remain cost-effective and aligned with your real needs. Communicate with project teams about their needs. This means actively discussing their specific requirements before allocating resources. For instance, if a team needs an AI service, confirm their exact use case and data volume first. This ensures you provide the right resources efficiently, avoiding waste and supporting project success. Let's quickly review what we learned. Resources flow from global account to sub-accounts. This means your central account distributes services and quotas to smaller project areas. For instance, a company allocates development tools from its main pool to specific team sub-accounts. This structure ensures organized and efficient resource management across all projects. Entitlements give permission to use services. This means your account is authorized to access and consume specific SAP BTP offerings. For example, an entitlement for the SAP HANA Cloud Service allows your applications to use its database capabilities. This ensures you only use what you are officially permitted to. You can assign and adjust resources as needed. This means you can easily change computing power or services in SAP BTP without major delays. For example, if your app suddenly gets more users, you can increase memory to keep it running smoothly. This flexibility helps you respond quickly to changing business demands. Regular monitoring helps optimize resource use. This means tracking your BTP services to ensure you are not overpaying for unused capacity. For instance, monitoring memory usage in an application can prevent paying for idle resources. Consistently checking usage allows you to adjust plans and save costs efficiently. You are ready to manage resources. You now understand the resource hierarchy. This means you know how resources are organized from global accounts down to spaces, like a tree structure. For example, a global account is your company, sub-accounts are departments, and spaces are project teams. This structure helps you manage and isolate your applications and services efficiently. You can assign entitlements to sub-accounts. This means you grant specific service permissions to your project spaces. For example, allow a development sub-account to use the SAP HANA Cloud Service. This precise control ensures each team has exactly the tools they are authorized to use. You know how to monitor resource usage. This means you can check how much of your application's memory, processing, and storage is being consumed. For instance, you might track if a development app is using too much memory before it causes a slowdown. This skill ensures your solutions run efficiently and within their limits. Great job learning these important administration skills. You can now confidently handle SAP BTP resources like creating and managing sub-accounts and spaces. For instance, you might set up a development space for a new project team. This foundational knowledge is key to maintaining an organized and efficient cloud environment.